most bizarre creatures that have washed ashore. Look into our planet's vast oceans and you will see an endless expanse of blue. But just what's lurking below those waves? Some of these mysterious creatures leave experts baffled at their existence. When these unbelievable creatures wash up on shore, we see the unique and downright bizarre wildlife that wanders our waters. Some of these shoreline finds are washed up after tsunamis or other natural disasters. Come and explore with me as we take a look at the most bizarre creatures that have washed ashore. And for some extra fun, find our mascot Ned hiding throughout the video. Blue whale. When we imagine ships traveling through the ocean, we typically picture blue skies and miles of open waters. So it's hard to imagine a ship having a collision out at sea. But ships do have collisions sometimes. The victims are not always humans. A 75-year-old blue whale was found off the coast of Northern California. Biologists were able to do a necropsy and found out blunt force trauma from a collision with a ship. Unfortunately, this is the case of these endangered whales being hit by ships. Some of these collisions are truly inevitable, but efforts are being made to regulate ship speed. The thought is that a reduced speed could lessen the impact of the whale in case of collision. Anomaly of Cape Town. Our vast oceans are teeming with biodiversity, but we have only scratched the surface with our knowledge of the oceans. Anything and everything could be living beneath the waters. In Cape Town, South Africa, an unusual-looking fish was found washed ashore. A hideous fish the size of a keychain was discovered. Had a mouth almost the size of its body. Who knew such a weird fish could exist? After it was collected, it was sent into the University of Cape Town. The biologists guessed it was a fish called klipsuier, a rare fish that likes to mainly eat mussels. Having been dried out, the features of the fish were distorted, making it very difficult to identify. The New Zealand sea monster. For centuries, humankind has been telling stories of mythical sea monsters roaming the depths of our oceans. But are those only stories? Could sea monsters exist? In New Zealand, a large creature almost the size of a bus was found. Its large mouth, gasping open, revealed long, sharp teeth. The animal looked like something out of a nightmare. People were making guesses about this unusual creature, and the guesses were all over the place. A marine biologist believed it to be a killer whale though. Orcas do live in the waters of New Zealand, so maybe this wasn't a sea monster after all. Two-headed dolphin. Two are better than one, or so they say. Twins are fairly common amongst humans. Chances are you know a pair of twins. Twins even exist in the animal world, but you may be surprised to know that conjoined twin dolphins were found on the coast of Turkey. Yes, conjoined as in the dolphin had two heads but shared a single body. The rare Siamese dolphins were thought to be only a few days old when they met their untimely demise. The dolphins' eyes had not even been opened, and neither was their blowhole. A teacher found them washed ashore and called the police. The body was sent to a laboratory for further research. Megamouth shark. If you have ever been fishing, then you know that the ocean will turn up lots of strange things from its waters. And some species are so rare, you probably won't see another one in your lifetime. Washed up on the beaches of the Philippines in Cagayan de Oro, a megamouth shark was found. If this one doesn't sound familiar, that's because it's incredibly rare for humans to find one. There have only been 60 recorded human encounters with the species, and the shark was only just identified in 1976. The filter feeder shark was named Megamouth for its large, gasping mouth. And, like moths to flame, the shark uses bioluminescence in its mouth to attract its prey. A kraken? Reading news articles or watching news broadcasts can be tricky. They shouldn't be. They should be honest and factual. That isn't always the case, though. From the coast of California, a news article on the internet about a giant squid that appeared on the beach Photos showed the massive creature on the beach with plenty of onlookers watching the whole thing. The article claimed that it was from Japan and had mutated from the nuclear radiation that had spilled into the oceans during the 2011 tsunami. But science had proven that radiation causes things to shrink, not get bigger. The entire article was fake, however. Even the photo was photoshopped for the story. It turns out there is no giant squid washing up on California's shores, only fake articles. Montauk Monster. Science had taught us that land animals belong on land, and water animals belong in the water. So when a land animals turn up on a beach, we don't automatically assume that's a land animal. Instead, our imagination goes wild with possibilities. Montauk, New York. After a creature was found on the beach, the pictures and stories went viral. But that's because many people believe it to be the Montauk Monster. The internet went crazy with wild speculations that the creature was the byproduct of an experiment gone wrong on a nearby island. However, after an analysis was done, the animal was confirmed to be a raccoon that had decomposed. Watch out! A day at the beach can be a fun time splashing in the water and playing in the sand. But what if while you were happily enjoying yourself in the sun, you found a giant eyeball? Pretty creepy, right? Well, one man did find a giant eyeball on the shores of Florida. He brought it back to his refrigerator to preserve the eyeball for experts to identify it. The giant eyeball sparked rumors of sea monsters, but experts identified the eyeball as being from a large swordfish. But how did a single eyeball wind up in the beach? The straight cuts suggested a fisherman cut it out of the fish and tossed it overboard. Weird package. In the era of online shopping, from home you can buy almost anything, right? People can buy even groceries. But did you know that you can buy a sea monster on eBay? Well, you can't buy a true sea monster, but you can buy sculptures. Without the artist knowing, the images the artist used on his eBay listings were used to send fake news via the internet. Tampa Bay, Florida. According to the fake news, a sea monster was found. Based on the images, it is obvious that the monster is not real. Mermaids and mythical marine animals are created and sold by the artist online. The artist never thought that his sculptures would be seen as real animals. Real aliens? Do you believe in aliens? In the possibility of life outside our planet? A real sea creature may look like an alien, but it's actually of this world. With its rock-like exterior and otherworldly fleshy interior, it's no wonder people mistake this animal as an alien. It doesn't look like anything from anywhere else around here. Typically found in Chile and Peru, Pura chilensis is a real animal from here, Earth. This sac-like marine invertebrate is a filter feeder, and it doesn't need a mate to reproduce. That's right, nicknamed the living rock, have both male and female reproductive parts. This means they can reproduce all on their own. These strange creatures may look like they're from outer space, but they are just a rare species of our planet. Black Sea Nettle. Swimming in the ocean. Worst nightmare? To get tangled up with a jellyfish. Their poisonous tentacles can burn and can cause lethal lesions depending on the species. In the waters of California, the Black Sea Nettle, also known as the black jellyfish, is a massive jellyfish with tentacles longer than a sedan car. When they are spotted, they are usually in large groups. Sighting of these large jellyfish tend to coincide with red tides. But why would a red tide bring jellyfish to the surface? Red tides are created by an overabundance of dinoflagellates. These dinoflagellates consist of zooplankton, which is the main food source for the Black Sea Nettle. Consequently, the increase in plankton brings the jellyfish to the surface for feeding, and some of them may wash ashore. Cerro Azul Monster. Imagine going out to the river with your friends. You're having a great time swimming and splashing around. Then, you feel something coming from under the water towards you to grab you. Cerro Azul, Panama. While enjoying a day at the river, people reported an incident of an unidentified creature washing ashore. The images taken of the bizarre creature circulated the internet. People tried to figure out what exactly the Cerro Azul monster was. Costa Rica. Years later, another monster just like the one from Panama washed ashore. DNA testing revealed it to be a brown-throated sloth. The sloth had been in the water for over 2 days, causing it to lose its fur and become really bloated, therefore making it look like a real monster. Houston Sea Monster. If you decide to go bird watching, you probably expect to see birds, of course. But when you're out in nature, you never know what you may find, even in an activity like bird watching. One woman in Houston was bird watching on the coastline after Hurricane Harvey and found a strange creature on the beach. She pulled out her phone and sent out a tweet. She called it the Houston Sea Monster. But after some time, a marine expert claimed to have identified the Houston Sea Monster as a tusky eel. However, local fishermen say it's a snapper eel. There is much debate about the identification of the species since it was in bad condition and probably sunburned. Also, no DNA evidence was able to be collected because it was left on the beach. The creatures we find on our beaches can be important insights into what is living in our expansive and mysterious oceans. Maybe one day we will know much more about our oceans and rivers and all the magnificent and mysterious creatures that live in them. Thank you for watching, and until next time. Remember to click the bell icon after you subscribe so you can get instant notifications of all our new videos.